Hello to my fellow mortgage broker community. My name is Marc Summers. I'm the president of AIME. I want to welcome everyone to our weekly sales meeting. Now, the topic I want to discuss this week is adaptation, okay? And why us as a community, as the mortgage broker community, are the best to adapt to things. So I would like to go over the past, the present, the future, give you a few of my tips of how I get through each day because as I've told everyone before, I am a current mortgage broker writing deals, living the fight, doing everything you guys are doing every day. So just kind of want to go over everything, give you my thoughts on things, and then, take what you can from it and move forward because just like I said, as a community, we're the best to adapt to change. All right. So first off, let's talk about the past. Okay. Now the past, depending on when you got in this business, our industry has changed so much. I remember when I got into the business in 2001, it was YSP. You made money on the back end. You kind of had a somewhat of a loan fee worksheet. You submitted it and you were good to go. Then you had, the progression just came through. Then you had GFEs, you had LEs, you had borrower paid versus lender paid compensation. I mean, we've been through it all. QM, 3% rule. I mean, I could go on and on about all the changes that have been made in our industry. And guess what? We have done the best out of everyone is we adapted because that's what we do. I feel that, depending on the situation, the big banks have kind of given it all to us. We started it back at the bottom and we're working our way back up because that's what we do is we adapt to the best. Doesn't matter what you throw at us. The sky is not falling. Yes, it's kind of tough for us to take for maybe the first week, first month, but then guess what we do is we figure it out and then we move forward and use it as an advantage to us. So it's good to understand the past of what has happened and know that, hey, because of past happenings, we've gone through it all and we're going to continue to do that. Then I want to talk about the present with adaptation. The present is we are in times right now that I never saw coming. Okay. We have rates in the ones, the twos, cash outs in the low threes, however you want to say it. We are in a time where, listen, they're unprecedented. COVID, all the conditions we have to do through COVID, profit and loss statements that Fannie and Freddie gave to us. How about FHFA giving us the 50 basis point hit out of the blue? Listen, all this stuff makes our job harder, but guess what? Us as the experts and us as educators and experts in this industry, guess what we've done is we've adapted to it and we move forward. We still have to understand, and I think we do a great job of it, knowing that we are best for consumers. And I think that's the most important thing that we have to understand is that we have figured it out. No matter what, throw anything at us, we're going to move forward and we're going to be the best for consumers. I'm a sports guy. I always relate it back to, any type of sports I can. I mean, you look at someone like, Kobe Bryant, they move the 3-point line back. He's not going to sit there and complain about it. He's going to look at that and say, listen, I got to get better at it. And this is how I'm going to get better. And that's what I think we have to continue to do. And I know we're going to do that as a community. And that's why I can bring it up to you guys. But sometimes it's just a good refresher to hear it just from an outside voice saying, hey, listen, we have to be the best and we are the best. Then I want to talk about the future with adaptation. Guess what? Get your mindset right because there's more changes coming. Now, what those changes are, I can't tell you because listen, I never know. I've been through a lot through my career and no one knows. No one has a crystal ball. No one has that crystal ball that says rates are going to do this. Guidelines are going to change like this. We don't know. But guess what? You have to have confidence in yourself. And we as a community have to have confidence saying, listen, there's going to be, events in the future that are going to change us, but we're going to adapt to them. We're going to put on our big boy pants and we're going to move forward. Okay. Now, the other great thing about it is we have great lenders and vendors on our side. They're going to help us adapt to it. And plus, us as an association and us as a community, we're here, we have your back and we're here to help you. So just understand that I don't want anyone going into the future thinking, well, where's this industry going? I don't want them to feel unsettled. But what I want everyone to do is say, listen, we have an association, we have lender partners, vendor partners that have our back. And guess what? Throw anything at us that you want. We're going to adapt to it and we're going to conquer. So the next thing I want to do is my 3 tips of kind of how I go about things and how I move forward, which is this is number 1, I have fun with it. I'm a fun guy. If you've ever met me before, I like to have fun. So no matter what comes across me, no matter how stressful it is, I'm going to spin it around and try to have a little fun with it. It's just my way of kind of dealing with things. And I want you to deal with it too. Yes, it's stressful when you have realtors calling you and you have borrowers calling you, but if you have a little fun with it and take it, it's going to make your sanity a little better. Number 2, use any change that's coming towards us as an advantage. Remember how a long time ago that they threw education at us and saying that you have to have a 20-hour education in 8 hours? We've used that against us because now we know banks don't have to do that. And we say, hey, who would you rather go with? The expert who has to go to class, who's being educated yearly, or just someone who just walks into a shop and can start writing deals for a big bank? Okay. And then number 3 is, hey, use it as a challenge. Okay. Any challenge that comes towards us, we're all competitive people when we want to be competitive. Is when someone throws a challenge at us and you want to be competitive, take it as a challenge and move forward and conquer it, kill it, crush it. Everything that we've been continuing to do, just continue to do it, but continue to have that challenge side in you and say, I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do it better than the next guy. So continue to do what we're doing. I have faith in our community. I have faith in everything that's going on in our industry. We are best for consumers. And once we always put the consumer first, we move forward and we're better with everything. So let's talk about legislative updates. Really, right now, I don't have any legislative updates. I feel like we're pretty much at a stalemate, but if we do have any updates, you can always visit aimgroup.com and go to our legislation page, and you'll see any updates that we have there. As of this moment, I really don't have any updates. So just want to thank everyone for having me. Our next guest, who does a great job every week, love listening to him, is Rene Rodriguez. So Rene, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thanks, team. One of my favorite quotes of all time comes from Charles Darwin when he said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It's the one that is most adaptable to change." Think about that for a minute. It's not about how strong we are. It's not even about how intelligent we are. But can we adapt to our environment? Animals that survive can adapt to their environment. Us as humans and business professionals are the same way. Now, for us to understand adaptation, I want you to go back to all the videos that I talk about when I talk about the brain, because everything that I'm referring to is about understanding the change process, okay? But I want to give you here today a way to reframe maybe some of the challenges that you might be facing in this change. And so a lot of times, some of us might be stuck at trying to surpass maybe 5 loans a month or 5 deals or 5 units. And we feel ourselves bumping our head against that ceiling, if you will. And a lot of times people will make the mistake of saying, this is the limit of my potential. But I want to give you a new phrase that I learned from Dan Sullivan. And it says, this isn't a limit of your potential. This is a ceiling of complexity. Think of how powerful that is, a ceiling of complexity. Number one, when you talk about a ceiling, okay, it's a ceiling, but it's not made of steel. It's just made of complexity. And the good news is there are a lot of people that have figured out the complex challenge of how to do more than 5 loans a month. And when you look at it from that perspective, you get curious. And when you get curious, you begin to learn. And the good news is in here in this community, there are a lot of people that have figured that one out. And so if you've done the right thing and you have broken through that ceiling of complexity, guess what the next thing you find? Another ceiling. And you begin to bump your head until what? You figure out, okay, well, who has figured out how to do more than 10 loans? Because the complexities at 5 are a lot different than the complexities at 10. Here, this is typically a sales challenge. Are you selling? Are you talking to enough people? Are you out there promoting yourself and connecting with people and converting? Once you start trying to break 10, guess what? This isn't about sales anymore. You've kind of figured that out. It's typically a marketing issue at this point. Can you get it beyond you? And now you start entering an operational challenge when you get past this and say you break through to find 15 plus loans a month. Now you have team issues and operational challenges that are very different down at the ceiling of 5. And so whatever ceiling you find yourself in, I want you to take inventory of the people in the network that you have. Who is around you? If you're surrounded by a lot of people that produce under 5 loans a month, you need to start reaching out and reaching a little bit higher. I'm not saying ditch your friends, okay? Now, if your friends are bad and they're leading you down the wrong path, yeah, ditch your friends. I'm talking about finding people that are doing what you want to do. If you want to get in shape, find people that are in shape and hang out with them. If you want to make more money, find people that have money and learn what it is they're doing. If you want good relationships, find people that are in good relationships. It is that simple, folks. And so when we think about ceilings of complexity and where you find yourself and how do you start breaking through those pieces, it begins and always ends with how we look at it. So I want you to take a look at your business right now. What ceilings are you facing? What challenges? Because right now you might be calling them challenges. You might be calling them turn times. You might be calling them all sorts of things. But what are the challenges or the ceilings of complexity that you're facing? I want you and your team to get together, and I want you to write all of those down. If you don't have a team, I want you to write it down. And if you need support, comment here. There's a lot of people watching that have passed this or maybe have the same question as you and maybe want the same answer. But what challenges are you facing right now that maybe, just maybe, somebody has figured out the complex solution to that? And when you're specific about it and you have the courage to actually tell people that this is where I'm struggling, guess what? The teachers will arrive. But you as a student have to be ready. So we are in the midst of all sorts of change, all sorts of things. And you have the choice of how you describe it to yourself. And that will determine your adaptability. Remember, it's not the strongest, the most intelligent. It's who can adapt. And our ability to adapt depends on how we explain it to ourselves. So are you the doom and gloom person? Like I said last week, we're the ones that hate Mondays. Or are you somebody that's constantly looking for that next solution? Because I promise you, if you go out there and you ask, if you go out there and you put out the request and you are willing to do the work, the answers are going to be there. And they're usually not that far away. And so when we think about this concept of adapting, take a self-inventory of where you're at, where's your attitude, what's going on, and what's your mindset. And so again, please put your challenges below, start thinking about what ceilings of complexity that you're facing, and start asking for help. And if those of you watching have passed all this and you're up here above 15 plus loans, then this is your time to give back. This is your time to share your knowledge and leave your legacy. And this is a perfect place to be able to do so. So again, please make sure you leave your comments down below, and I'll make sure that I'll comment in with how I can help. And so thank you. I wanted to keep today short because this doesn't have to be complex, but we have to go out there and do the work. Remember, ceilings of complexity can be solved if we hang around and are around the right people. Back to you, Philly.
Thanks, Rene. As entrepreneurs, we have to be agile. We have to be adaptable. You have to look at the changing environment around you and pivot when necessary. There's so much going on. We're in a very chaotic and very hectic market right now. You have to adapt. Look for the new opportunity as the variables change. There's no way that you can control everything. We all know that going into it. Don't get frustrated. Don't try and control the things that you can't. Focus on what you can control. Pivot, look for the new opportunity based on that changing environment, and you are going to continue to find success long term. One of the big benefits of being a broker is that we are speedboats. We are not cruise ships. We're able to turn and adjust as quickly as necessary. That's why borrowers continue to come back to work with brokers. Focus on adapting, focus on being agile, keep things moving so that you don't clog up a pipeline trying to cling to things that you cannot control. Speaking of being adaptable, we are doing the same thing here at AIME. Many of you guys saw we are going fully virtual for Fuse this year. A virtual event does not mean a non-event. It is still going to be amazing. We are not doing a Zoom meeting. It's not a webinar that you can log into. There's a full virtual experience that comes along with it. There's a mobile app. You'll have exclusive content that is only available through Fuse Virtual, on-demand content that you can go back to and watch anytime afterwards. It's going to be available for a week, 2 weeks after the event's actually over. We've got exclusive announcements from UWM that we'll be rolling out. Y'all know they do not disappoint. They rolled out Brand 360 at Fuse last year. They're going to have something just as big to announce this year. We've got on-demand content that you'll be able to go back and watch either before the event starts or after the event's over, exclusive demos that are going to be available from all of our partners. There's a virtual exhibit hall. You can schedule meetings, one-on-one sessions with any of our lender partners, any of our vendor partners, and there's going to be a full day of content that you're able to jump in and out of. If you miss something, that's okay. You can go back and watch it afterwards. We even have multiple tracks running at the same time. So you'll be able to pick and choose your own adventure on what you want to engage with, what content you want to view. And we've got tons of people that are organizing watch parties in their local communities. We've got some really cool stuff with that we're going to roll out over the next few weeks. So we definitely would encourage you, get in touch with brokers in your local area, start putting plans together on how you can watch and engage with Fuse all together in your local community. And we've got some big announcements around that we'll be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. Our new partner announcement for the week, we are focusing on Accelerate. To be adaptable and to be agile, you have to have the right tools available. Accelerate is a big part of that. They're fully web-based. There's a mobile app that you can use to manage your pipeline on the go. It is a very robust CRM intentionally built for scaling teams. So if you're 8, 10, 12 person broker shop and you're looking to continue to scale, or if you're already in that 25, 30, 40, 50 LO range, Accelerate is going to be the perfect CRM for you. All of your pipeline management, pre-built campaigns, ringless voicemail, text messages, all of the automated campaigns to help keep your partners and your borrowers informed on the loan process. It is all included with Accelerate. We're really excited about this one. I've known Josh for a very long time. I've been trying to get Accelerate to work with the AIME community for the last couple of years. So this is a really big one that we're definitely excited to help bring to market. Our podcast for this week is Matt Cole. He is a top producer from United Wholesale Lending out in California. He's talking about building a successful team. Great podcast. It's our first new podcast in the last month or so, so definitely check it out. It's brand new. You've never seen it before. It's a very, very good one. So if you haven't listened to it, hop on there, download it, listen to it over the next week. Lastly, our marketing webinar, how to get started with video marketing. Everybody in here knows Nicole Peranio. If you haven't seen her yet, I don't know what you've been doing for the last couple of months because she's all over our Facebook community. You know her, you love her. She is the resident expert when it comes to video production. She's literally standing behind the camera right now and producing this for us today. She's going to be doing a webinar tomorrow, Thursday. You can sign up. We'll put the link in the comments if you haven't registered for it. Definitely carve out some time to do so. She's going to be talking about how to start doing video marketing in your day-to-day on social media, what the lighting requirements are, how to get your audio set up the right way, advice to just get started. So many people are nervous about being in front of a camera. Sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and get it going. So she's going to be covering all of that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Register right now. Get out there, pivot, look for the opportunity in today's market, and we will see you all next week.